Welcome to Age of Empires 4. We are in the Platinum League at the end of Season 10 here. We've got, on the north of the map, the Red Rus, played by Crutch? Anyway, the Rus player. And on the south, we have the Mongols. As we see a little Gur packing up and going. Uvu being built down to the south here. Now, what have we been seeing? I don't know about you, but all I see when I get the Rus as an opponent, I used to main them. It's been quite some time. But all I'm seeing lately against them is pretty fast castles, sometimes a total naked fast castle, into mostly horse archers. Now, Rus have a few things that help them with this. They have the ability to get passive gold. They have the ability from the hunting cabins. They get it from... what was I going to say? They get it from collecting animals. And it allows them to get professional scouts more effectively than a lot of other civs. Why? Well, you have that passive gold. You're able to get scouts without building a stable or slowing down your town center. And then the gold you get can eventually help pay for itself. 2 scouts are out here, and they're going to pick up a lot here. Now, for the Mongols, this is the tricky situation for them because some of the tactics that they're able to employ in other matches are just not applicable here. There's no gold to tower rush because they don't need to get on the gold, the Rus. So, what are their options? They can try to go into... a counter force of Mangudai and archers. They could try to rush castle. You can get to maybe castle quicker if you don't worry about making units, because if the Rus are out there doing professional scouts, you might have a quicker immediate path to get to castle. Scoop up relics, bolster your economy that way. So it remains to be seen exactly how this plays out here. I would say I think this is going to be an uphill fight for the Mongols. Trade is not in a fantastic position. The better trading post for the Mongols would be this one out here to the west. It kind of cuts towards the enemy base, though they also could make a silver tree, plant it down at the bottom here, and then try to trade up north, perhaps, and protect this sort of southeastern portion of the map. Golden Gate coming through here. As we have seen, pretty standard coming through here, consistently for the Rus. And it's going to be Deer Stones. Going to be unlocking that Yam network. So, both moving up here at a pretty similar clip here. Gold in the bank for the Rus, 84. Not where they need to be yet to get up to professional scouts. They need 300 gold in addition to that 150. The other option the Mongols have for them is to try to do feudal age aggression. So you try to deny the deer scouts, the professional scouts. Got deer scones on the brain. Khan's trying to corral at least their deer, so that's not picked up by the Rus. RIP as we get to the end of Season 10 here. Some big nerfs coming into deer pushing. Rus going to be pretty happy with their deer pull. Got 18 deer, plus the 3 that have been killed, and probably presumably a couple others that have been consumed. Scout getting into trouble. A little bit of a delayed attack. It's... oh! The range on that scout. Well, that's going to slow down any future professional scouts. Bounty. Already passed Tier 1 bounty. 5% villager food gather rate. 10% more gold for the hunting cabins. And now we see pro scouts click through. A lot of food coming in here. Things going very smooth for the Rus player. And I feel like we're a little in between macros. We're not quite at Fast Castle here for the Mongols. And we are going to see an archery range come up. We'll see what's on the menu. More scouts coming out on the map. They are headed to multiple different deer camps. So 2 are going to this nearer one. This one is going to try to get to the center. The Khan's just going to miss out on that intelligence. And then this one is going to the far east. So not acting where you're going to group all of your scouts together and take a herd at a time. It looks like they're hedging their bets a little bit here in case there's some opposition. A second scout joining the frontier right outside of the base. Now the hardened Khan is coming out here and they're going to try to shoo away the scout. And the issue with this here is that you might think that this is the extent of their attempt. So the Khan unable to stop, but we're seeing Mangudai coming up. That's going to be the answer. Or excuse me, Mangudai and Khan's Hunter in the queue. Where's that archery range? Oh, it was moved appropriately back to the Uvu, able to get the double production for the cost of the extra stone. 150 stone each, but it's a passive resource. Deerstone moved to the center of the map. Gonna try to get that extra boost for the cavalry. Khan trying to work down this scout out of action. And here comes the attack, the Mangudai. So the Deerstone's absolutely playing into the hands here. Unable to get that first scout. We're going to get at least 5 deer here pulled in. There's 3 more around the corner here. Biding his time, or forgetting about these other hunts for the moment. Cavalry heads out. And this is where the Khans, the Mongols, and we have an early night out that's going to do absolute work here, chasing away the mounted archers. Though they're able to make a good cut around, get away from the Lancer, and they're going to start peeling off. 1 scout down, going to see another one go down. And this mass is built very quickly for the Mongols. 1 scout coming in here. No more scouts in the queue here for the Mongols. And the Mongols have the opportunity to turn this around. So now that you have put this pressure out, as we see a couple of carcasses coming in, they're going to exactly move right to the base and start trying to make a little approach. Get on. Nope, they've decided to come back forward. Red got housed here, the Rus. So trying to handle this pretty good combination here, the comp of the knight and the early, or excuse me, the regular feudal age archers are going to do some pretty good damage here. I mean, this knight is dishing out, you know, yeah, 19 sword attack. Khan Hunter 4 bow. Not even counting the 3 ranged armor. So doing 1 damage apiece here. Deerstone's trying to make it out of here. So no economic damage really done here. A number of scouts have gone down. But we do have the Stepbrid out being built. Able to get into that fast Imperial, at the Cognitive Palace and the free units that come with it. And perhaps you have the immediate benefit of getting extra gold. Extra gold means extra monks out and able to deny some of it. But right now, Mat Control is being seeded pretty hard and there's not a lot to defend here. No hard counters to this. The first villager of the game goes down. The tower is being rushed up here. And they're going to try to get a few hits on these archers. The knight is down, the archers are down, so the military advantage, as slight as the numbers are, do rest in the favor of the of the Mongol player. Damage units getting a prayer tent up immediately though, trying to capitalize on that advantage. Shaman, excuse me, I think I said monk earlier, but it is indeed a shaman in the game. Production starting to come back out. Switched now to crossbows. Had been going for the double, I couldn't tell if it was Khan's Hunters or Mangadai. Are those exactly the same? I think those are the same thumbnail. Oh no, they're the bow's different. Okay, wow, okay. Haven't looked at that enough to memorize it. Tower coming up here. Stepward out, gonna be hoovering that gold. Deerstones move forward. So, still a good haul, but the professional scouts was interrupted. High Trade House coming in on the back. The first of the relics pulled from the center of the map went aggressive, made sure to press that advantage, protecting it with the military available. Prayer tent shift queued. We don't have another shaman out here, and I feel like that's a mistake. I mean, the shaman can pay dividends later. Now, the trifecta of ranged cavalry is on the move, moving out to the second relic here. Well, in fact, it's actually going for the shaman's going for a southern relic. So going to be able to press this advantage pretty well here. Still no monastery out. Now it does come down for the Rus. So they're going to be behind in the relic game. At least down. The first two going over to the Mongols. Trying to press the situation. Looking out here. They think they're in the clear here. And let's see if the Mongols find a target. They do. That deer was dropped. So, again, still pressing the advantage, but a sizable force here coming up here. Horsemen, a knight, and 14 archers able to do that damage. Now, they're moving out of position to look for the attack that just occurred. The Khan is aware. We got the scouting falcon out and about. But he's picked up that it's time to go. Mongol and their slight military is moving to the south. The Uvu is depleted. A new one will need to be built here shortly. Numbers advantage heavily in the favor of the Rus. 27 to 13. Granted, 3 of those are scouts. So Rus is moving forward towards the enemy base. The Mongols are headed around the back, going to see if they can pick up anything here. Rus accurately predicting where this monastery, or where this shaman is going to try to get that relic, and is absolutely obliterated. So good anticipation. The northern force of the Mongols is going to walk right past that horse archer, who is shift queued to go get the next one, which is unfortunate. Some damage is being done from afar. 4 villager kills for the Rus, none yet for the Mongols. And also, I feel like the Mongols might have missed a few of the villager clicks. They're down by more than their normal rate. Horse archers now, out in force, as is expected. Big damage coming out here from the outposts. And this is going to get absolutely cleaned up. Static defense is a big deal. The Cognitive Palace is going to be attempted. They're going to need to cancel that. They do. The villagers take refuge. These villagers have lost their ability to collect gold. Stepward Out is on the run. And not a lot of military here. Static defense is coming in big here. But the bulk of the force of the Rus is up at the north. Going back to the Mongols' perspective, they're going to try to plant out at this southern gold post. Still only the one military production, or no, we have a second military production facility now. Separate out coming through. I'm going to try to start getting those free units. Horse archers to meet the horse archers. As 2 archers run back for medical care. 3 relics in. And people forget that the unit production and the research benefits do exist for the prayer tent. So some options here. As more cavalry comes in, the crossbows are going to do okay here with the help of the static defenses. And this is where the horse archers have limited benefit. They're not able to push into those defenses, doing 13 damage at their current state. It's sparse military out here, Mangudai, with their 5 damage. Out. Khanganate Palace, what did they get? They get horse archers, elite horse archers. So the Mongols going to be pumping out stronger horse archers than the Rus themselves are able to produce this time. We're seeing an upgrade to veteran horsemen. So horsemen are coming out here to help counter the crossbows. The crossbows, the mounted range units, and they might be able to suspect that indeed it is going to be a group of horse archers out for their opponent. These doing 15 damage compared to the 13. Long distance wood chopping. Rus wanting to tidy that up. So if you're the Rus right here, you have a lot of the tools you need. You have the military advantage, even if that's not perhaps immediately clear to you. It's a slight advantage. It looks like they are doubling down on production at this time, towering the gold. More stables coming down. And still very light production coming out. Now 2 warrior monks. This is almost starting to feel like a mirror match between the Rus. And a big push here, getting them off the sacred site. The Rus horse archers, Rus horsemen. Archers stay back, and they're just going to be content to keeping the sacred site at this point. Keeping that passive gold trickle coming in. It looks like they are macroing towards Imperial themselves. In Imperial Age, you get Spitskaya Tower, which you could use to anchor some of the few resources, the gold, the sacred site. Or you can go, I'm forgetting the name of it just now. There we go, the High Armory for the discounted siege. Discounted siege can be helpful, but might not be what you need against the mobile threat that the Mongol and frankly your own army as the Rus can both push. Mongol production now still has not moved on the Uvu, so there's no stone. Oh, the stone has just been just deleted the Uvu. Trying to see where the new one has been completed. Safe in their base. And now both armies trying to regroup. Right now you have the Rus trying to hold on to their advantage. And it is going to be a Spitskaya Tower, right where we thought it might go, protecting multiple resources, this general path towards their base, and this gold. So I like this, being respectful to the fact that a mobile army of the Mongols going to be able to counter a lot of siege. You don't get that much benefit from it. Frankly, you don't also have the gold on this map to get a lot of the siege you would like. So Rus now going to be confronted. Mongols trying to forward again. They see that army is way too big and they pull back. 20 horse archers, 10 horsemen. And it's just too soft of an army right now. A couple of Keshiks have joined the mix. An Elite Knight was the next role from the Cognate Palace. Now we have Elite Mangudai. So good rolls coming in. So this is one case where a Hui Hui Pow might not be the worst answer. You get a Wee Wee Pow, you're able to maybe confront the Spiskaya, get them off that gold. But now the only confrontation is against that Warrior Monk. Adios. The Rus, not the only ones with Warrior Monks available, able to provide that Saint's Blessing after striking an enemy. The Warrior Monk increases the armor and damage of nearby allied Rus military units for a duration. So, really powerful option here. A tower coming up, a great little mining spot here. Wondering if the Steppe Redoubt's going to be moving over. It's halfway through this gold vein. So still very standoffish armies. But the longer the Mongols have to build, the longer they get benefits from the Cognate Palace. The longer they're able to get those free resources, the more they're able to kind of scale up here. The Rus have to spend for all of their units. Nothing free here. Mounted training coming through here, increasing the weapon range of horse archers, and unlocks the gallop ability. Gets that faster speed. An upgrade the Mongols don't need for their horse archers. Too many folks staring at the venison. So a little bit of mismacroing. All peaceful as far as the Rus can tell. But the Mongol horde is looking for something. Now they know that the northwestern of the Rus base is fenced off. So looking for an opportunity here. Spotted out by the tower. And the Mongols flirting and pull back. A few hits obtained here. But more of a skirmish than a battle. Rus pivoting south. Going to try to cut off the retreat. Looks like they want to engage. 35 horse archers available. Now, these Mongol pieces might be moving out of position. Cutting across the center of the map straight towards the base. And unawares, only now aware, if they're seeing it on the map, if they're seeing the alerts, the horse archers are here. They're going to dive straight in, going to try to get some economic damage. A couple of villagers have gone down, and Mongols respond by splitting the army. Half the army is going to go support the static defenses and try to clear up this mess. But Alshabrish is banking on the fact that the army is split here and he has an opportunity to attack. But he's not the only one with a split army. Rus still has defenses in play. The push to the south is going to be deflected. And the push to the north is going to be deflected. So still more standoffish behavior. But the Mongols dealing with a significant villager deficit at this point. But the army count for the Rus, or excuse me, for the Mongols just keeps growing. Now getting a contingent of elite palace guards. So the military numbers starting to really improve here for the Mongols. Neither player able to push, neither player out with any siege on the field. Defensive position ready to go here. I like this planning. Great position to gather from. Maybe a little awkwardly placed here. And the Mongols flirting up in the north with the Spiskaya Tower. Trying to find a path. Now they haven't explored this eastern pathway yet, and I think they're about to give it a shot. A feint to the north with 3 units. No, maybe not a feint, maybe just a misclick. Hard to tell. And opts not to take that path. That is now fenced off, recently completed. So didn't use the opportunity earlier. Some villagers cut out of position. Those are the first 2 villager deaths picked up at the hands of the Mongols. A second town center now behind the Spiskaya. They're just going to push through this wall. Now the stronger fortified palisade walls that the Rus get going to still go down very quickly. Army being mobilized to cover the attack from the eastern flank here, cover this TC, but they're just bypassing the Spiskaya entirely now. Even with the option of building stone walls, they did not. And now Mongols attempting to balance the scales here economically by going in. Picks up on a villager. Ooh, that's a lot of villagers to lose for very little berries remaining. 10 villagers, it's 11. And he's 14. Mongols have picked up an equal share of the villagers. Now, of course, those villagers had been collecting longer than the Mongol villagers, but this count is going to keep increasing as the 2-to-1 military advantage picks up. A chunk of the Mongol horde is picked off in the north as they start sieging things down. 27 villagers lost now. So even with the second town center, suddenly the Mongols have a big economic advantage. Villagers still working here, still pumping out. There is an opportunity here for the Rus to get back in this game. They need to clean this up, and they have the military to do it, assuming the southern army doesn't take too much power. Now we have the first Hu Hui Pao coming out here, elite horse archers coming out, and it looks like they're not going to overdo it here. The Mongols are going to... Oh, one more dive here with the northernmost army. But looking for opportunities, not overcommitting to the back of the base. 35 villagers now taken out here for the Mongols. I should say by the Mongols to avoid confusion. Now another attack contingent heading to... And this looks like a gap in the wall. They identify that they're just going to run right through. So a much smaller force here, only under 20 units here coming through. It has to command the attention of a good chunk of the Rus military, which all runs back. So, you know, I will say some sloppy base building here a little bit by the Rus. Didn't follow through on closing this gap. Didn't get rid of this mining camp, or sorry, this wood camp that's around their hunting cabins. For Rus, it's expensive, these hunting cabins. They're more expensive than regular mills. You want to optimize your coverage. You had long distance wood cutting here. Now they do cover up that gap here, belatedly. 2 town centers. Oh, I don't know, man. You gotta work on your farm base, or farm building. That's going to be some pretty inefficient farming. Rus not known for their farming to begin with, but a huge force now building. 88 army. Now the villagers were pulled off. They're not rallied. So kind of scrambled here. You know, we have farms. They're not well optimized. They're not optimized around the hunting cabin. They're not optimized around the high trade house. They're not optimized around the town center or this hunting cabin. So a little bit of a macro slip here. Now they're still in this game. A 62 to 69 villager lead for the Mongols. The Rus do have a window here to pick it back up. And the Mongols might be sitting on their laurels a little bit. You have a Hui Hui Pao. You have the ability to start challenging these forward positions. And Uvu coming up with a tower. The Mongols not recognizing the advantage they hold. Some more production out here, you can see. A couple of stables, a couple of archery ranges. Much more production for the Rus player here, but without the economic momentum to really cash in. Farms are built, albeit sloppily, as the push comes in. Both armies went up to meet each other, both pulled back, and now the Mongols will just fly by the back of the base. The softer piece of the military, the Mangudai, and the Khans. Do we have any Khans? Raiders, or what are they called? Khans Hunters? Khans Hunters, Horse Archers, and Mangudai all working together here. doing more damage. 44 villagers lost here for the Rus player. And that's not even the full brunt of the army. And that's going to be it. GG is called by the Rus. So, really a landslide into the into a big economic damage here. Was unable, the Rus player was, to take advantage of their early lead. You can see, I mean, they had the military count earlier in the game. Advantage was not able to be pressed. They ran into a lot of the stack defenses set up by the Mongols. And while they were able to recover their military count and actually held an advantage for quite some time, bad fights, bad unit comps, unable to seal the victory. Well, thank you for joining today. That is all for this cast. We'll catch you next time.